3 years, and the audience says, when are you going back out west? So we're doing it this year through the next couple of weeks, rodeos and saloons and regular places, and some days just little temporary stops on this road tour back toward. I'm slowly heading back toward Birmingham today. I headed just a little further east over the Bighorn Mountains. What a beautiful drive into one of my favorite little towns out here that I got to know a few years ago, Buffalo, Wyoming. And then one of our favorite people here in Buffalo, our friend Laura, we'll put the camera back on us as we get set up for another hour, came in to join us this afternoon. And Laura's hyper political, thinks like us, happy to talk about all that rough and tumble stuff. She ain't afraid. But once I found out more and more about your profession, man, we got into a really deep health discussion in the last hour. I think it was very beneficial for our audience. And we can keep that going. If y'all have a question for her on this natural healing stuff, she is very much happy to talk to you about that, or just do some tourism stuff about Wyoming, or throw some political bombs in here. We can handle it. We're juggling. We can handle it this afternoon. Let me take care of some sponsors, though, because I got so fascinated with what we were talking about. I got a little behind. Work Trucks is one of our favorite long-term sponsors here. If you're in business and you need to get your products or services or whatever it is you do around town with a commercial truck, you know that every dime counts. Keeping overhead down is smart. But your truck has to be reliable. It's got to be up to speed and up to date. And that's what they sell at Work Trucks. They vet these trucks. They get them off the lease market for the most part, low miles, pre-owned, which the pre-owned's great because it takes all that depreciation down, and they keep the miles low. And then they do their 125-point thing. Bubba and that team won't put a truck on that lot if it hasn't been through their very rigorous testing. And once they're satisfied that you're going to be happy with it, they'll put it on the lot, and everybody wins. It's a way to keep your costs down and your company moving. It's Work Trucks, box trucks, cargo vans, passenger vans, any of those things, flatbeds, specialized trucks. They got crane trucks and lift bucket trucks, and, of course, plain old straight shop trucks. If you just need a plain Jane, get it done, windowless. No, they have windows. Just a two-person cab, bench seat truck, they'll get it for you at Work Trucks. It's priority on the lot. If they don't have what you want, they will go out and track it down for you, because that's what they do. TRUX, WorkTrucksLLC.com, WorkTrucksLLC.com. We are in the famous Occidental Saloon. I love this place. It's got so much history here. Is most of this architecture original? I'm showing the audience. As you see, hear the bartender checking up drinks back there.
Yeah.
What is that? Mostly original ceiling
it is.
and woodwork.
Most of it's
and all
been
this
restored. The bar is the original. The floor is original.
Yeah.
Ceiling. Yeah.
You can tell. And AJ, I've decided I have my new love in life is this wireless earpiece, because I took it with me to the bathroom. Usually when we do bathroom break, Laura, I'm just saying, we have to take pee breaks in 4 hours. AJ and I will take turns running down the hall at the station. And AJ, don't you have an automatic timer in your head? You know exactly how long we've got.
Yep.
So it's about 2 minutes really to get her done, and unless it's the other, and then it's a whole different crisis. But that's John Bird's problem. But anyway, he works at he's our morning producer, but our midday producer. And so anyway, so AJ, I've got this wireless thing. It helps me during the remotes like this, and I wondered if it would still pick up all the way back to the bathroom in the back, and it did. And I was like, this is a change in my life. I knew exactly how much time I had. I was like, I knew which promo would play when it's time for me to start walking back. It was great.
Please don't broadcast from the bathroom.
Oh, I was like, if I just had the wireless mic, I could hang out back here for a whole segment. I've never done the show from the can before, but it could happen. But the other fun thing was back there. It was funny. They had it's a ladies and gents bathroom. It's either or, whatever. They don't care. Just wash your hands. And they had one of these. Do you remember these old fashioned machines? We had one in my downtown, in my hometown, out on the street. And you stand on it and put like a nickel in there, and it would give you your weight and your fortune or something.
It's been there forever.
They had one of those things in the bathroom back there. I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid. We had one downtown, and we couldn't wait when I was a kid to get downtown, put a penny in that thing, and tell us how much we weighed.
A penny? How old are you?
Whatever it was. I was born after the Civil War. I'm as old as this bar. But yeah, man, that was just a little nostalgia. Made me smile back there.
We try.
What do they call those things? I never knew what they called those machines.
A weight machine? I don't know.
It was sponsored by some company. It seems like they had advertising.
Something
on it or
Omatic,
like
I'm sure.
Yeah, and then they just put all that stuff on there. Anyway, just kicking it this afternoon. AJ, what's happening back at the back on the home front? Just checking in with you for a little bit.
Everything's good over here, man. Just listening to y'all. It feels like I've been just listening to people sitting in, those political ad commercials. You hear the
Hey, Tom.
Hey, you heard about that Maha stuff?
Because we are sitting at a restaurant. We always make fun of it. Do you have cheesy political ads out here as bad as we do?
Oh, my God.
They're so they're
Bad.
awful.
Bad.
And I've seen some of them on TV because they'll drop them into my streaming.
Right.
It's because somebody's called, I don't know if he's calling for governor, Chad. Somebody called him China Chad or something out here. Seems like that was in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. They're calling him a Chinese plant in the governor's race. I don't know.
It's her.
It's a her. Okay. So it's the same script we hear at home, just different names. It's
Well,
the same.
she did attend the Beijing University.
Who is she? Is she running for governor?
Mhm.
Okay, rat her out. Who is this? 'Cause
Megan Degenfelder.
Laura has a candidate. It's not like we're going to be able to vote. We're not Democrats. We can't vote here.
You don't live here either, unless you want to.
Democrats vote they do what they want.
They do. They don't
So
follow the rules.
Laura's candidate is Brent Bien. Brent Bien, and she's one of the three. You got the current governor and this woman, or is she the current?
No, the current governor's out.
Okay.
He's not running
He's
again.
termed out.
He's termed. Well, yeah,
Okay.
he's termed out.
So you got it's an open seat,
Correct.
and your guy's Brent, and this woman is a Chinese plant.
Well, that's some of the rhetoric going around because she did attend for her. I believe it was for her master's degree. She went to Beijing University.
Oh yeah,
in
just
downtown Beijing.
doing that alone is disqualifying to me.
Well, it's a little suspicious, you know.
Yep.
So.
Isn't that like wasn't it Tim Walsh did like 100 or so trips to China? Wasn't he obsessed with
Something
China?
crazy.
He learned Chinese, that little douchebag. Anyway, so I went off into political town, but the ads are they're just as bad here as
they're not
as
as
they are back
prolific
home.
yet. I mean, and I'm not plugged in like a lot of people to TV and stuff, so I don't see a lot of that stuff. But political ads are political ads. I think they're all pretty cheesy.
They are, and one of the ones that AJ and I love to make fun of is the diner ad. They do a lot in radio. You hear the clanging plates, and it's like, "Well, Tom, who are you looking at this year in the election for governor?" I was thinking about that fellow AJ. He's a mighty fine. I mean, they do these diner ads like that's all Americans do: sit around in a diner and talk about. What they ought to do, AJ, is do one in a bar where everybody's hammered and actually saying what they think about the candidates. That'd be much more
great,
entertaining. Wouldn't that be much more
Yeah, it
entertaining?
would.
So AJ says our conversation sounds like that. We were rewatching an old sitcom that used to be on years ago, and they did a spoof on that where the actors in the show were supposed to be extras in a TV commercial. You had these two old guys sitting in a cafe, and one was like, "I'd like to go visit the grandkids this year, but I don't think I have the money." And the other guy says, "Have you heard about reverse mortgages?" And the actors are acting up in the background and screwing up the commercial was the joke. And so that's about the level of creativity we get with political spots.
Yeah,
and they just insult us with stereotypes. In Alabama, it's
And
everybody's
platitudes.
Everybody's shooting a gun, carrying a flag. Lately they're all wrapping themselves in Trump, where you'd think Trump calls them every night.
That is a huge thing
And
here.
it freaking works. I mean, people will vote for it. I mean, it's just they hang out with farmers. These guys don't hang out with farmers, but suddenly they're wearing a plaid shirt, walking through a field.
We have that
Did they
too.
do that stereotypical
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are the stereotypes here? They all got a cowboy hat on. Or whatever?
Everybody's a rancher now.
Oh, they're a rancher now.
Yeah, everybody.
I
I mean,
grew-
we do have a lot
They
of
talk
ranchers.
about how poor they grew up and all
not
that.
dissing the ranchers, but
Yeah, right. Real ranchers are cool, but these are fake ranchers.
well, we do have one of the candidates that is a rancher. I'm not gonna lie about
Is
that.
it your guy?
No, my guy's a retired military colonel.
AJ, were you saying something?
Yeah, well, so it's so funny. Okay, so you're kind of talking about politics there for a little bit in Wyoming, and on TikTok, this guy just kind of popped up out of nowhere. Reed Rasner,
Yeah.
he's running for Congress out there. He's from a Catholic.
Out here?
Yeah, out of
And he's-
Casper, Wyoming.
And what about him?
I don't know. He's Trump. I guess he mimics like Trump a lot.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well,
What's his story, Laura?
I wasn't going to diss on him too bad, but
He can't hear us.
his videos and his commercials are the absolute worst you've ever seen.
AJ.
In fact, the conversation is this a spoof or is he
Right.
really seriously
Is he
running?
Is he acting
It's
It's like,
So
AJ,
oh,
please find one of his spots and run it.
he
Just run
does
it.
this in his can't.
Oh, he holds his hands like Trump.
Like Trump. He talks like Trump.
Mannerisms, yes.
And he tries
Oh,
to
you
do
gotta be
the
kidding.
lilt in Trump's speech, and he will not hardly ever do a video without a MAGA hat on.
Oh, he's got his MAGA hat on
and
and
he's
everything.
Trump,
Yeah.
Trump, MAGA, 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 and it's like, what's your platform? Trump, MAGA,
It's
MAGA,
exactly
MAGA.
what we get.
And
And I'll
it's
tell you
please
what.
stop.
I don't know the guy. AJ's looking up one of his spots. I don't know the guy, but I almost bet that when Trump first ran in let's say 15 and 16, when he first ran, you probably couldn't find this guy anywhere.
Oh
You
no.
couldn't find Trump supporters in his
No,
first race.
no.
I know
And-
because we stuck it out there for him, and people were like, "You're crazy. I'm for Ted Cruz and all this stuff," and they were maniacs about it. Now, all of them to a person pretend like they've been there for the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, forever.
So
And-
he mimics Trump, I guess you would say.
A lot.
Does he have bad hair too? You got the hair. and all
No,
that?
no, don't go that far.
Huge.
But AJ, if you could find the video,
He's
no
working
more,
on it. He's
no
gonna-
more fat kids. That's the funniest one.
No More Fat Kids
No
is
More
one of
Fat
the
Kids.
ads. What is he talking about in No More? What does that mean? The health stuff?
The kids need more physical activity in schools.
Well, he ain't wrong.
School.
He ain't wrong.
He's not wrong, but the videos. Videos.
Is he in it? As a
Oh yeah,
fat kid?
he's in all of it. He's the star.
How do you cast that? I need some fat kids for my political.
No,
ad.
there weren't any fat kids in it. It's just the ad is so bad. It's so bad. But all of his are, man, they're questionable. It's like, are you serious? Is this your serious? This is your campaign, and it is. It is. He
It's
ran
so
last
insulting.
time. He ran for governor.
Do they
last time?
inundate y'all with mail too and spam messages?
Oh
and-
my God! There's one of the candidates here who's running for, I think, Congress. I think it is. I'm so ensconced in this one campaign that I'm having a hard time keeping up with everybody else. But I think it's for the congressional seat, and it's a son of a longtime politician here, well-known politician here, and philanthropist here in Wyoming. And his name is Steve Reese. And I don't feel one way or the other about him, but there was a point in time a couple months ago that we were getting 2 or 3 mailers in the mail every day, a week, 2 or 3 a week from Steve Reese. And I wanted to go up and just say, Steve, save
it,
the
dude.
trees.
Yeah.
Steve, save the
Save
trees.
trees.
But yes, we get mailers, and he's not the only one. I'm not saying he's the only politician. They're all starting to send out these mailers, but I think most people just kind of pitch them in the trash.
I did find that No More Fat Kid. He did at the I guess it's the University of Wyoming. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's play this. Let's listen to this thing.
Oh, it's the visual on it that's so bad.
We'll try to imagine.
You
More
can't.
fat kids. Standing here at War Memorial Stadium, we need to bring back the presidential fitness exam. Our students and kids need to be in tip-top shape. We want to make America healthy again. Vote for Reed Reisner. No more.
He must have done some research and decided that was some issue or something, I guess.
Well, I guess.
He wouldn't spend money on it. Maybe he just.
Well, a few months ago, Trump wanted to do the initiative, the healthcare
I
initiative.
think he's
for
already
kids.
done it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. That was an old
It
one.
has no. Was he running for Congress?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah.
Congress doesn't have anything to do with this. The president just can.
No.
Obama got rid of it,
Yeah, yeah.
and then Trump brought it back.
Yeah.
So that's it.
But actually, the audio on that one is not as schmaltzy as some of the other ones.
Well, we don't have an ability to
Yeah,
really show it right now.
I was thinking the
so,
visuals, but yeah.
Schmaltzy. I'm gonna start using that. That's my new word.
Good.
AJ,
Think of me when you use it.
We just got through with a stupid round. We do our primaries a lot earlier than you, so
Most states
we're
do,
done
yeah.
with it, yeah. And like here, the Democrats will try to throw some Hail Mary, but it won't be anything. I think the races are pretty much over. It's baked in the cake.
Well, hopefully, because we've had a huge problem in Wyoming with crossover voting.
And that means they switch from Democrat to Republican and like.
To vote in
In
the
the primary?
Republican primary to sway the votes in the
So
Republican primary.
I see what you mean. Initially, we've got a rule now where if you vote, because you don't have a runoff, but if you vote in the initial primary, you can't switch parties for the runoff. You got to stay with the party
Right.
for that year you picked.
Right.
And that's a little confusing to some people, but because they get it confused with the general. But you can do what you want in a general, obviously.
Right,
on
but
the
you can.
ballot.
We actually passed a bill. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. That the time frame to switch your party has been shortened so that people can't switch their party at the right before you
That
go in to
makes sense.
vote. That you can go in and switch your
Do
party.
y'all
to vote
register
right.
by party out here?
Yes, you have to register by party.
Okay. And with only about 500,000 people in the whole state, you got 2 senators but 1 congressman, which is kind of because every state has 2 senators. And that's amazing to a lot of people, but it's just population. It's just how we're doing it.
Driven by
Is Wyoming growing? I mean, you'd have to double in size to get 2 congressional reps.
I'm not. We'd have to grow a lot to get 2 congressional reps.
And the liberal areas, we talked about this. I can't remember. I don't think we talked about this one. But the more liberal areas are probably around Jackson Hole, and you say the college. Typical
college. Typical.
But they don't. I mean, that's a tiny chunk. There's only like 12,000 people over there, right? Or does it affect?
Yeah. Well, there's also the student population.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
UW
Well, that's
there.
true.
So, So it can influence the vote, but it didn't so far. But our major concern in Wyoming is that a lot of there was a lot of crossover voting and a lot of changed voter registration this year. Probably not enough to sway the election.
Right.
But it could be because we've got somebody who's not truly conservative running for a lot of seats.
It's happened in Alabama when the brand shift, and because the Democrats have lost their minds and gone straight up socialist and are embracing just the nuttiest people nationwide. They had already we started having party identification flips in the mid-'90s, about 96 it was kind of the peak. And then you couldn't win if you didn't, or in a Republican, so slowly, whether you were or not, and there's no real test, everybody wore the red jersey at that point.
That's what's happening in Wyoming.
But to me, there's a danger in that because when you become one-dimensional, and the audience heard me go through this time and time again, if the only people that can beat you are in your own party and you're an incumbent and you get all the party money and all the outside money, it's hard to beat an incumbent in a closed environment like that. And there is no general election, and that's why we get these sorry incumbents that you can't get rid of. And then they don't mean it. They're just cross-dressers. They're trans party. Yeah. They're trans.
Trans Republican.
And you get a lot of that.
A lot.
But it shows up in how they vote. Like in our case, it's down in the legislature and some of the things.
The legislative vote is one of the things that one of the gubernatorial candidates is we're just, all we're saying is check his voting record. Just check his voting record. No mudslinging, no character assassination, nothing like that.
Yeah, stuff that's on the record.
Because you can't, he's not a bad guy. You just look at his voting record because he's not representing you the way you think he is.
Man, let's get on down the road. Let me catch up a little bit too, as we're almost out of time. This has flown by. I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thanks for the invite.
I was running out of gas after a week of these setups and breakdowns, but this has been nice and chill here in Buffalo, Wyoming. 2 of our medical sponsors here on the show that help you with your health care. We were just talking a lot about that in the last hour. Our one is Southern Skies, and of course our dentist is alabamadental.com. Let's talk about both. Southern Skies is dedicated, you'd appreciate this, to nothing but skin cancer. And they find it, they remove it. They've got the latest technology to rid people of it. My mom, who's listening and is a big fan of Laura's now, has had a fierce battle since about 2020 with melanoma, which traveled internally. But man, she's pushing 80. Don't mean to rat you out, Mama, but she and I both are about to head to 2 milestones, and she's my hero. I mean, she is so brave, doing this all alone at her age. All her kids are grown and gone, but she's done it. And we appreciate her that she's still. We're going to see her again this Christmas, but it's a battle. She's given me permission to tell her story just to let you know she wants people to get checked because it can show up externally, and that's where you want to catch it, not after it travels. And so you may not think you have a problem, but you don't know. I don't know. It's hard to know what you're looking at. They know what they're looking at Southern Skies. This is all they do, find and remove skin cancer. So go see Dr. Mario and his team. Great locations all around town. It's southernskiesdermatology.com. And then, of course, my dentist and AJ's dentist and my wife's dentist and everybody I know that gets to know Dr. Brian becomes part of their practice over at Alabama Dental. They're really good and really caring, and they're open until 7 at night. They're open on the weekends, and that's important. In addition to that, with 4 dentists, they decided to diversify their specialties. So then they got 4 different specialties. So they cover a lot of expertise under one roof with the expanded hours and all the incredible technology nowadays. They've invested in all that. It's a genuinely fine practice to give you that flexibility and that expertise. Y'all go see Dr. Brian or any of the fine dentists at alabamadental.com, alabamadental.com. Back in a minute from Buffalo, Wyoming.
So you think you're bad with your rap? Well, I'll tell ya, Pilgrim, I started the crap. When you were in diapers and wetting the sheets, I was at the Ponderosa rapping to the beat. Da ha, da ha, da ha 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 ha. Sure, I rustled some cattle and tended the sheep, but my main concern was rapping to the beat. I don't bother nobody, I'm a real nice guy, kinda laid back like a dead fly. Da ha, da ha, da ha ha.
Da ha 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 ha. I think that song came out when I was in high school. It's like a John Wayne
Oh
rapper
my
guy.
God, that's hilarious.
You know, AJ, when I was in Ouray, Colorado on this trip a couple of weeks ago, a lot of True Grit, the John Wayne movie True Grit was shot in that little town. There's so much history there. You just learn stuff when you travel like this. One of the thoughts is to make the case for doing it on the ground. There were so many little small towns I ran through this morning, and if you're doing it this way, you're going to see more of this country and how it connects. Then if you fly, that's great. Sometimes that's all you can do, but you might as well be in a TSA line if you're going to just go to the airport, get in a rental car, go to Yellowstone, and stand in another line. You're going to miss some stuff out here. I wouldn't have found Buffalo if I hadn't come
Right.
through on the ground.
There you go.
And what a cool place to be. Y'all, one more of our sponsors is Allen and Company. As we turn the corner, I'm going to talk about Christmas because we're close enough. As we're turning the corner toward the second half of the year, if it's some big blingy thing you're thinking about getting for your booth thing, could be a ring upgrade or maybe an engagement setting because it's time. Y'all let Allen and Company be your personal jeweler. Allen's a master jeweler. He can make, create, design, redesign anything you have. Repair, chains, missing stones, resizings. They'll do all that right there in their shop, and you're working with a beautiful, wonderful family, the Thompsons, who are just there they really want you to be pleased and keep coming back. That's the kind of good local service you want in a special item like a fine piece of jewelry. They're in Vestavia on the big hill near the car wash. It's Allen and Company in Vestavia. Bottom of the hour, back here, 30 more minutes in Buffalo. Y'all stay tuned. AJ, do you remember when this group did our theme song for a while? Gangsta Grass. That's the theme song from Justified, and I found that group through them. We had a show open that was, anyway. It's a long story. We had to burn it. AJ and I were kidnapped by a cult and kept there. It was a radio station cult, and we were kidnapped and held there for 3 years before we escaped.
Oh, good story.
We had matching track suits. We were close to drinking the cyanide Kool-Aid, but we didn't do it. We got out of there.
Oh,
So,
thank God.
I still kept my tracksuit though.
yeah,
I bet
we
you
should
rock
wear 'em.
it, AJ.
We should have tracksuit day one day on the show and just go ahead and wear them. We'll like run DMC with a white boy. 534, lead on live, talking in and 5. Let's talk about Stockton Mortgage. Usually Thomas calls in, checks in with us, but I'm telling you, man, he gets busy on Friday night. They're trying to close these things down and get done toward the end of the day. And Thomas and his team at Stockton work very, very hard at trying to get you to yes. That's not an exaggeration or a platitude. Tom, all those guys over there at Stockton, they're not going to do business if they can't work on every possible solution. So you can start with just questions. They're not going to make you fill out a bunch of forms, put you in a box, start collecting your data like some of these online things when you're trying to research rates and programs. It's like they play hide the ball with the information until they vet you. It's not like that at Stockton. It's very personal. It's a one-on-one company. They'll look at your situation. There may be a program designed for your special need, whether it's a cash out, refi, first purchase, veteran loan. Everybody's got a different situation. There was one time I did a finance, and I didn't know that the zip code that the house was in qualified for a better interest rate because of some FEMA declaration that I had no idea about, that they
Wow.
knew about, and it was able to save me a half a point. There's no way you would have Googled that or found that on your own. So just little things like that make all the difference. Another scenario, maybe your credit's a little dingy right now, and you need to figure out what moves you need to make before you pull your credit and get that score, and they can walk you through that and tell you precisely which things to pay off, which things to move around, put you in the best position. And you want to do that kind of preliminary stuff, not to mention getting a real approval, not one of these just back of the envelope partial approval, but a real true approval is like cash in hand to a seller. When you put your offer in, that means you mean business. The deal's not going to blow up over financing, and that's a smart thing to do. Plus, you know how much money you've got to work with if you're out there buying a home. It's SaveWithStock.com. When you go out and reach out to them at that number, they're going to know you're calling from this show. And I'm just saying, I believe people from this show get VIP treatment. Am I wrong, AJ? They get VIP treatment.
Yes, they do.
At SaveWithStockton.com. SaveWithStockton.com. Well, Laura, we have covered a lot of territory this afternoon.
It's been interesting.
Medicine, politics. The data center thing is how we started the show. A lot of folks that listen to us in the early hours are off doing other things now. We got a new audience by the end. And just to revisit that for a second, because it took me and you a while to work through our issues on that. But y'all got the exact same problems we're having. It sounds like the same script over and over of these big things being just plopped down in the middle of nice areas. And it seems as if citizens are they're playing, again, hide the ball with the project until it's too late and everything's already greased, and the citizens can't fight it.
Well, we're fighting it tooth and nail, but and we've actually, there's one of the towns, Cheyenne actually slowed down on all the moving forward with the building because of the water issue that they had about a month ago. But there's we're fighting it tooth and nail as much as we can as citizens and the public. And another issue we have here with all this green energy stuff is the wind farms, but we don't even have time to scratch the surface on
I don't
that.
think we have a single, maybe we have a windmill somewhere in Alabama, but there's a lot of them out here.
It is. In southern Wyoming, southeast Wyoming, it has become a huge issue. And we were talking about data centers, but the turbines, the wind farms, what I just found out last week is they're massive. They're thousands of acres of wind farms, just like the data centers. But if this is news to me, is that if you took all of the wind farms contiguously in southeast Wyoming, it would cover over 250,000 acres.
Good Lord.
And there's a group of ranchers down there that cover 3 counties that have gathered signatures, over 3,000 signatures, to take to their cities, counties, and the legislators to say, man, we can't, no.
What's the big issues? The noise. It's that they're taking up the land.
The land, mostly. With the turbines, the e-waste, the waste that comes with it.
Yeah.
You know, they say they have a 20-year lifespan. They don't. They're proving that they have about a 10-year lifespan, and they're nothing but green. And they will never, if you look at the numbers, the ROI on the numbers, they will never in their lifespan
Yeah.
cover the
They don't make
cover the
economic
cost.
sense.
No.
I think it's a bunch of PR that some of the energy companies are. They want to look environmental and green, so they put these projects out there as a cover story.
Well, most
because they functionally know the science is not with that industry.
it's not.
just not.
None of it. None of it. The data centers or the windmills or the solar. None of it pencils out.
Yeah.
None of it.
I saw a video the other day, or a picture. There was a big windstorm came through one of the wind farm fields
Right.
and just bent those things in half
Destroyed them.
like toys. And they're It's hard to imagine how big they are too. You're out here
It is.
close to one.
Right.
What are they, like 400 feet tall or something?
Something
crazy
like that. And the blades are 60 feet long, and just the construction of them. Here's something new that's coming around because they did not do the reclamation requirements on a lot of the wind farms. So just the cement block, the foundation that they have to put into the ground on these for one turbine
Yeah.
is like 200 tons of cement and steel.
Which they've got to go dig all.
And
the
they don't.
elements
They're
in.
not required to dig it out. So it's starting to. The ones that they have shut down are now starting to leak into and contaminate the groundwater because cement is toxic chemicals.
Yeah.
And that's
'Cause
not
over
even. That's
time it
just
breaks
something
down.
new that's come up that's having to be
Because they've been
addressed.
around long enough to see the
Right.
downside,
Right.
and to see what eventually happens.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
we just try to fool ourselves with some of this stuff. I think.
I don't think it's us fooling ourselves. I think it's these. I don't know, globalists trying to just destroy everything so that we won't have food, water.
Well, again,
I don't know.
Trump hates him, but he's only around for 2 more years. I
He's
keep
only around-
reminding people of that.
Yeah.
And he could lose all power in just a couple of months. If the Dems get a hold of one of those chambers, he's neutered
Right.
for the next 2
Exactly.
years.
And if none of this stuff has been codified through legislation, it's all for all for naught anyway.
And the weak Republicans just have not really backed. I was trying to go back through. They've not codified much of his executive
None.
orders
Hardly
at all.
any. Hardly
he
any.
does an EO. The courts rule against it. He fights for another year through the system. He gets validated by the Supreme Court, puts the EO back in place, waiting on Congress to do something about it, and they don't do it.
And they are spineless people. And we got to get Thune out of that Senate, man.
No, he's terrible.
Oh, my
And
God. I can't believe that they put him in that position anyway.
Thoughts on the SAVE Act? I'm pretty sure I know where you're coming from, but what do you think?
Absolutely got to get passed.
And they won't do it. I don't see them do it.
I don't.
Unless Mitch McConnell, I think he crossed over to help us, but he's on his deathbed. And I'm not trying to wish him ill. But then we got to replace him, and you never know what you're going to get out
Well,
of
they're not
Kentucky.
replacing him. He hasn't voted since sometime early in
True
June,
that, yeah.
and they won't replace him. They're doing the same.
They're dragging
I
that out,
do
yeah.
believe that the Republicans are doing the same thing that the Democrats did with Biden, is they're just not allowing the truth to come out.
Pretend like
and
he's- yeah.
pretend like he's fine.
Because they're crazy reports. I mean, every other day there's a report that he's died.
Yeah,
That's
and-
been greatly exaggerated.
Who knows what's happened?
But he's not. They did this with Dianne Feinstein for a while. They wheeled her around until she became
Dianne
dysfunctional.
Feinstein. They did it with
Yeah.
the Supreme Court justice.
Are you for age limits on members of Congress?
Age limits?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I am.
I think it just makes sense. I mean, Trump's what, 80, close to 80. But he's not the same 80 as Biden, 80.
That's
so
true.
It's not true from person to person, but yet I think he's exceptional in that category.
I absolutely agree
Some-
with that.
Some of us aren't going to be that energetic and lucid at that age. And I just think if nothing, it generates some kind of turnover because these people have to vacate these offices because of age and gives us a shot at somebody else.
I agree with that. I know it's arbitrary to say that you have to age out at a certain time, but these career politicians that have been around for 50 years, you got to go. When you can come in to a congressional seat or a Senate seat and your net worth is $325,000 and in 5 years you're worth $82 million, there's something wrong with the system.
We had a corrupt mayor in Birmingham named Larry Langford for a long time, but he had some great phrases. I used to love this guy. But he'd say, if you keep going the way you're going to end up where you're heading. He'd say things like that all the time. And I remember all the Larryisms, but there's some wisdom in that.
There is.
Keep doing the same
There
thing
is.
you do, and you're going to get what you always got, stuff like that.
Well, they just get bought out.
No.
I mean, I've seen it over and over. I know you have too. A lot of people have. They go in. These politicians go into their career with all the best intentions, and within 5 years, they've been corrupted, bought out, or threatened. I believe a lot of them have been threatened.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the first things. I've seen it up close working for Congress. I mean, it's a combination of things. It starts off with accolades, campaign contributions, and invitations to the right retreats, and they stroke their egos. But at some point, there's a little bit of compromise threat. And then once they got them, they don't want them out of office because they've already made that investment. They're
Right.
reliable and controllable. One time I heard somebody describe the Republicans as controlled opposition. They're kind of there in large
accurate.
part to be window dressing and look like an opponent to the Democrats, but they never really do anything.
Well, you know,
They
the
just
right
keep
wing,
us
the left
placated.
wing,
Yeah.
same bird.
Exactly. How cynical do we sound here on a Friday
Oh my
afternoon?
God, let's do something positive.
We're sitting in a saloon and we're talking about this stuff.
Let's do a shot.
You ever thought about that's not a bad idea. You ever thought about how many political conversations have probably gone down in here back to the 1880s when it was built?
Oh my
How
gosh,
many
a lot.
things were discussed in this room? That kind of stuff always fascinates me. I've got an old radio like that one over there. I think it was built in the 30s. I got it at a flea market, and it's very similar to that one. It may be
That's so cool.
maybe the same radio. Now that I look at it, but I found it. I think I bought it for like $30 at a flea
Still
market.
got the tubes in it?
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh, wow.
actually, I plugged it up and it works, but then I smelled smoke, so I was like, but sometimes I look over at that radio and I think people gathered around that thing and listened to the end of World War II. They would have gathered around there for all the big moments in their lives. But that's how we got our news in those days. And there, that one sits over there. Mine has a couple of bourbon containers on it. It's just decorative stuff, but you think about history
look
of all
cool
these
too,
things.
though.
We're not the first people to be cynical about the government. Hell, the people that founded this place were cynical. That's why they founded it. So that's how it
Our
goes.
country was founded on it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, here we are about to wrap it up from Buffalo. Hey, Jay, it's been a fun show today. I appreciate all your help on the other end. I know these shows can become a challenge for him, too, because he can't see me and I can't see him. We just have to read each other's minds. But he does such a good job at that. Hey, let me talk to y'all about Floor Tech Concrete Coatings. Concrete, you were just talking about the cement at the base of those windmills. Concrete's just porous. And if you've got a concrete floor in a shop or at home, in a garage, anywhere, it looks so nice when you first, but over time you're going to give oil stains, you're going to spill stuff. I spill coffee everywhere I go, and mine's starting to look a little dingy. But the coatings that have been around for years don't really always work. I did a project like this back in, I think it was the early 2000s, and it wasn't but a few months before the hot tires in the garage coming and going and turning, started peeling up the paint or the coating. It turned a different color. The part that was outside in the sun turned a different color than the part that wasn't. And I didn't know what was going on. And then I learned something. I met with Kevin over at Floor Tech, and he told me they went in the lab. He understood this is a big industry that creates a crappy product. Let's create a better product. And all they did, similar to our food that we talked about, took the impurities out. They took the solvents out of the base of those products, and the product they sell is pure. It's a product that adheres. They put a lifetime warranty on it that is transferable with your house. They stand behind it. They said, this will be on your garage floor longer than you'll be alive. So take them up on it. Let them come show off for you about how the science works of it. You can absolutely customize that to the exact color and sort of variation of flake and chips that you have in it to decorate it up. The color of those things, you can put all that together. They do the installs themselves, a local company. The product's better. The ingredients are better. It's a better product, and it'll last and look good for years. It's called Floor Tech. Get them at floortechcoatings.com. When you spell tech, it's creative. They did TEK. So it's floortechcoatings.com. Hit that website, set up an appointment, let them come show off for you, and let's get that project done and do it right with floortechcoatings.com. Back here in just a minute.
Oh, you need to play some Jelon Crossland.
Yeah. It's 5:52. That's what I'm about to do. Just going home back to the old motorhome. Could I rewrite that song, AJ? Go on to the motorhome. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. It's funny. The theme of that song is exactly what Laura and I were just talking about during the break. We may get back on that here in a second as we wrap up. First up, let me tell you all about Douglas Cooling and Heating, another fine long-term sponsor here on the show. Been on with us for probably 17 years. They've taken care of every kind of cooling and heating issue that I have. And here's the thing about them. Honest services. I talk a lot about their longevity, and the way you get that is to just honestly take care of people, and that's what they've done at Douglas. That's what they've done for me in a number of situations. They're upfront on their pricing, and in fact, I think they publish the pricing of some of their products that they put out there. And so when it comes to the maintenance and getting a straight opinion on it, there are plenty of people in that industry that give that industry a bad reputation by giving you a hustle or trying to make you buy something or put a new install in that you shouldn't have to put in. And if you can fix it, let's fix it. If you can maintain it and stretch out the life and still be comfortable in your home, that's smart. You know, it's like an automobile. If you take care of it, give it a little TLC every now and then, it'll love back on you and take care of you through the very hot, thick, ridiculously hot summers in Alabama. I trust Douglas to do that for you. They're just good like that. They've been good like that. Of course, also as well, and consider this, you may find some people that try to hit you with a cheaper option. You can't go cheap on something like this. Get the quality stuff and the quality work and the expertise at Douglas. Of course, they've got a plumbing side of the business too, so trust them to handle those needs if they pop up. And Jay and his team are just top notch, and they'll handle it. It is calldouglas.com online, CALL, calldouglas.com. License number 2017181, calldouglas.com. Well, it's been a nice little conversation, Laura.
It has, Leland. Thanks for the invitation.
You were telling me about some other spots around Buffalo, and it was funny. We were having conversations about sometimes people just want to pick up their lives and move. And I was talking about how it's like that down in the Keys, in the Florida Keys. There are people down there, they're not really dropouts from society, but they did what they wanted to do with their lives and their career, and that's where they want to be for the weather and the sense of just sort of being away from things and the hustle and bustle. And y'all got a lot of folks that wind up out here for that. They don't want to sit in traffic. I met 2 or 3 people from Colorado. There's like, we're just done with all the bustle of Colorado. Wyoming's a lot more laid back.
Right.
So there's an appeal here to that kind of spirit, I think.
There is. And especially
simplicity, I guess.
In this county, we have now exceeded, our population is exceeding over 50% of retirees because of that.
So you're saying more than half of the people here are retired?
It's approaching that number.
Huh.
Yeah.
And when did that start?
It's been a slow build.
Yeah.
You know, and with the advent of social media over the past few years, I think people are just discovering more places like this.
Where are they coming from?
Oh, everywhere. A lot of people from California, Colorado.
California seems like somebody stomped an ant bed. They're just trying to get out of it. They're just running.
It's an absolute,
away from all
show
that
out there.
It is. It's just, and they double down on it every time they
every day.
I think they believe they can replace the people that are leaving with all these foreigners that are just were barging all into the country, and they can replace that population and make up for it. They've got brain drain, economic drain. New York City's about to go through the same thing. Mm-hmm. And our states, I guess, are the beneficiaries of that, as long as they don't move here and just start doing the same dumb things they did back home.
Right. Well, like I said earlier, we have a lot of people from California here, and so many of them are true hardcore conservatives. They don't want to come here to change it. They want
come here to be part of it,
to preserve it.
It's funny, I had that same conversation in Cody yesterday with the mayor, who came on with us, and she was just that was her first thing out of her mouth, is to preserve their way of life, to not let it get inundated and let growth become a beast.
All over Wyoming that way. And one of the things that I found out in the political climate, just locally here, and it's happening across the state, is that so many of the people that are really politically active that are fighting to keep Wyoming red
Yeah.
are, quote, immigrants from other states that came here because they thought we were the bastion of freedom, and they're finding out, oh my God, I have to start the fight all over again
You gotta
to
come out
keep
here.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
And they're more actively political
Good for them.
than the locals, generational locals.
They'll bring some energy to that cause.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get Hippie in here. We got one final call on the show, and then we got to wrap things up. Hippie, what you got, brother? What's going on?
Oh man, I really enjoyed. I didn't catch her name.
Laura.
Well, I've been at work, but I don't know if many people know that thing about the canola oil.
Yeah. We got Laura's business is natural healing and all that stuff, and so we got off on that for about an hour, and she was very helpful to
I
all
was
of us.
listening.
Yeah.
But if you ever saw the video of how they make canola oil, you'd never use it again.
Right, and it comes from rapeseed, which is highly
And
toxic
it's
to
a
humans.
genetically modified rapeseed.
Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Hey, thanks for letting us hang out. Is that David?
All right,
Is that David?
y'all have a good one.
Okay, never mind.
Be careful.
Thanks, Hippie.
Thank you, Hippie. I was saying thank you to a guy that's not even the owner. All us old white guys look alike. AJ's been telling me that for years.
AJ, shame on you.
Faux pas. Just messing around.
Hey, just return the favor.
Hey.
He's fed up with it enough his life. Running joke that we have. I'll tell you about it sometime. Everybody that if they see me with a black guy, they think it's AJ. If they see AJ with a white guy,
Oh,
they
of course.
think it's me. It's like it's just our thing. Salt and pepper, man. Okay, all right. One more thing for Alabama Gold Refinery. Get you some gold. Start slow. You don't have to go cash in your whole retirement plan and buy gold, but if you get smart about it, methodical about it, you can have a nice collection that's none of anybody's business at a very safe, fair location, and that's our buddy Steve over in Homewood at Alabama Gold Refinery. They'll buy from you, sell to you, trade with you, gold, silver, platinum. They do all of it. 29th Street, right across from the Big Regions Bank in Homewood. AGR, AlabamaGoldRefinery.com. That's going to do it for us from Buffalo. We'll see y'all next week over in South Dakota. I'm going to hang out here for the weekend, though. I'm going to be a Buffaloian. What do you call people from here?
Buffalonian.
A Buffalonian?
I think so.
I like that. Yippee-ki-yay, AJ.
It's been fun, Leland. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura.
All right, stay tuned for Breaking Break coming up next. Goodbye, AJ.